At age 17, Brad Pitt's daughter backs up the rumors. From walking the red carpet as a child to dealing with the stresses of having a famous family, Shiloh Jolie Pitt's life has been a public show. Now that she is 17, she has a new problem to deal with. She is being taken away from Brad Pitt's $300 million income. A lot of people are interested in this shocking choice, and many are wondering what it means for Shiloh's future. There are many questions, such as why this person made this choice and if there's more to the story than meets the eye. Let us look at the rumors about Brad Pitt's daughter and find out what this shocking news really means. Watch this video to see what Brad Pitt's daughter said about the rumors that shocked everyone. Background in early childhood of Shiloh Jolie Pitt. Shiloh Jolie Pitt was born on May 27, 2006, in the beautiful city of Swakopmund, Namibia. She was surrounded by media attention when she was born. Shiloh was born and was the first real child of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. His birth was a worldwide event. They were known as Bregelina, and they were Hollywood's most famous pair. People have been interested in them since they started dating on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2004. That year Shiloh was born, the couple already had 2 adopted children. Maddox was from Cambodia and Zahara was from Ethiopia. Shiloh was born in Namibia, which was both a tribute to the country's beautiful scenery and a plan to avoid the intense attention of American reporters. Angelina found Namibia to be the right place to escape because she has a deep love for Africa and has done a lot of humanitarian work there. The people in charge were so happy that they let Shiloh's parents apply for Namibian citizenship if they wanted to. Shiloh was already famous even though he was only 2 months old. At New York City's famous Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, she was the first baby to be turned into a wax figure, where a life-size figure of her parents stood lovingly over her crib. This moment showed how strange Shiloh's life was when he was born. Shiloh's early years were full of great wealth and cultural diversity. Shiloh was introduced to a lot of different cultures and experiences because his parents were both famous in Hollywood and really cared about helping people. In 2008, Shiloh Jolie Pitt got her first taste of Hollywood when she was a baby in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, the hit movie directed by her father Brad Pitt. People in the crowd were interested in her future in the entertainment business after this short but memorable event. Shiloh had her own ideas about life as she got older, though, and she didn't want to follow in her parents' footsteps into Hollywood. Shiloh famously turned down the part of young Aurora in her mother's movie Maleficent, saying she'd rather be a winged creature. When Vivian, her younger sister, finally got the part, Shiloh did a fun speech cameo as Shui in Kung Fu Panda 3 in 2016. Model of fashion. In the last few years, Shiloh has become a fashion model, stepping into the spotlight in her own special way. In 2021, Shiloh looked beautiful at the London premiere of Eternals, where she got ideas from her famous mother's style. Shiloh showed the world how confident and unique she was by wearing a stylish black and white Dior dress that looked a lot like Angelina's own stylish clothes. Angelina has always told her kids to be themselves and find their own style. They were told that expressing themselves is much more important than following the rules of society. Shiloh is always with Angelina at big events, from the premieres of movies like Unbroken and Maleficent to important humanitarian projects. In 2018, she showed kindness and empathy by going with her parents on a moving visit to a refugee camp in Jordan with the UNHCR. Shiloh wasn't just there for a picture, he was talking to refugees and learning about their lives. She's been on trips with her family from Cambodia to Ethiopia, and Angelina often tells touching stories about how these trips have changed their lives. There's no doubt that Shiloh has taken on her parents' big hearts and desire to change the world. The story about Shiloh Jolie Pitt and Brad Pitt is still going on, so stay tuned for more. Shiloh Jolie Pitt is making her own way into the spotlight, and it has everything to do with dance. Her love of hip-hop has put her in the public eye, and her electrifying acts make people take notice. Videos of Shiloh dancing to hits like About Damn Time by Lizzo and Shivers by Ed Sheeran are going popular on social media. Brad Pitt, her father, has said that he isn't very good at dancing himself, but he loves to watch his daughter perform. Shiloh Jolie Pitt Dance is an unofficial YouTube channel with over 10,500 members that shows off her amazing dance moves that were filmed at the famous Millennium Dance Complex in Los Angeles. Shiloh is sure of herself on stage and can easily switch between Rihanna's sultry grooves, Dua Lipa's catchy pop beats, and Christina Aguilera's famous moves. She doesn't just follow trends, though. She adds her own style to every act. Small creative touches showed that she had more artistic ability and showed off her unique style. The teachers at Millennium Dance Complex have helped many dance stars get better, and they're probably helping Shiloh improve her skill and find her full potential, which is helping her rise in the dance world. From Flames to Dust, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's romance is very well known. Nelly Furtado sang the words "Flames to Dust, Lovers to Friends" in her hit song All Good Things. Why do good things always end? Songs like Goodbye were true for Pitt and Jolie. The good times were over. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie met on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2004. They quickly became one of Hollywood's hottest couples because of how well they got along. As Brangelina, they seem to have it all: good looks, great skills, and a growing family. In the beginning, their relationship caused a lot of trouble because Pitt was still married to Jennifer Aniston. After his split was finalized, the relationship became public. They had 6 kids together, and 3 of them were adopted from other countries. It looked like a fairy tale at first when Brad and Angelina were together. They went on trips around the world, were in movies together, and started the Jolie Pitt Foundation to help people in need. But things started to fall apart when Jolie filed for divorce in 2016, saying that she and Brad couldn't stand being apart anymore. Fans and the media were shocked by the breakup. There were rumors about Pitt's drug use and anger problems, and Jolie was worried about their children. The long divorce procedures, which were full of accusations from both sides, ruined Brangelina's once glamorous image. Even though the ending was rough, both have moved on. Reconnected with Jennifer Aniston as a friend, which led to rumors of a reconciliation. Jolie, on the other hand, continues her starring career by doing volunteer work. It's a stark warning that celebrity relationships often hide deeper problems that are going on behind the scenes. Fans can only hope that Brad and Angelina find peace and happiness away from the attention that their failed relationship got. The 2016 split of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt changed Shiloh Jolie Pitt's family in big ways, but it happened out of the public eye. Even though things have been hard emotionally, both parents have stayed committed to co-parenting and making sure their kids are safe and healthy. Angelina Jolie is famous for being an actress and for helping people. As a special envoy for the UN Refugee Agency, she has been a strong voice for global problems. Jolie has worked hard to help refugees and fight for the rights of children. As part of her job, she goes on high-profile missions like viewing conflict zones and supporting programs for people who have been forced to move. Brad Pitt, an actor and producer who has won an Oscar, has dedicated his time and energy to protecting the earth and helping people recover from disasters. His group, the Make It Right Foundation, helps rebuild houses in New Orleans that were destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. Pitt has also worked on a number of environmental projects, such as green building and sustainable homes. The public split between Jolie and Pitt hasn't changed how dedicated they are to their own goals. They have continued to work towards their own environmental and social goals while also taking care of their co-parenting duties. This promise shows how determined they are to balance their personal lives with their work in the public eye and with charity work. Making sure that their kids get both mental support and stability as things change all the time. Shiloh's dad has a new girlfriend. Brad Pitt's relationship with Ines de Ramon has become a source of peace and renewal in his life during the rough legal fights with Angelina Jolie. Us Weekly has learned from people close to Pitt that his relationship with de Ramon, who is 31, has brought him a lot of happiness and security. A source close to Pitt says that being with de Ramon has given his life new direction. Pitt is also deeply in love with de Ramon. People like how calm and conflict-free she is, which is a nice change from the chaos that surrounded his public split. The person says that Inez wants Brad to calm down and stop being angry. Their relationship became public in November 2022, not long after de Ramon finalized her divorce from Paul Wesley, an actor best known for his part on The Vampire Diaries. After splitting up in 2022, Wesley and de Ramon got a divorce in March 2023. By December 2022, it was clear that and de Ramon were dating, which started a new era for both of them. The jewelry artist de Ramon is Swiss, and he was married to Wesley for 4 years. Even though things are still tense between him and his ex-wife, de Ramon's support and their honest, open conversation have made their relationship stronger. Friends of Pitt's have noticed a big change since DeRamon moved in with him. They say Pitt is happy and in love than he has been in years. Pitt's friendship with DeRamon seems to bring him peace and renewal in the midst of the chaos in his past, showing how his presence has made his life better during a tough time. Shiloh and her dad get back in touch. Shiloh Jolie Pitt did something brave when she was 17. She chose to live with Brad Pitt before she turned 18. A close family member says she wanted to live at his Los Feliz mansion because she wanted to be independent and spend real time with him. This choice shows how close Shiloh is to Brad and how much she wants things to change while the custody fight goes on. Brad is thrilled with her choice. But a new twist makes things more difficult. As a result of Brad's friendship with Inez DeRamon, whom Shiloh has not yet met, their new living situation could become awkward. Even so, Brad is still upbeat. For better or worse, Shiloh has tried to help Brad get along with her older brothers, Maddox, Pax, and Zahara. She still has a close relationship with her younger brothers Knox and Vivian, which gives her some stability during the chaos. Angelina Jolie has a hard time with Shiloh's choice because they have had problems in the past, including claims of violence. Jolie doesn't like Shiloh's choice, but she does see that her daughter is becoming more independent. It is said that Shiloh's mom is making the kids dislike Brad. New accusations have come up in the ongoing legal fight between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie that could make their already heated custody battle even worse. Reports say that Brad's lawyers have sent in a letter from Tony Webb, a past owner of a security company who worked for Angelina before. Webb says that Jolie tried to stop two of her bodyguards from testifying in the custody case that was still going on. Pitt's team says that this could have affected the kids' ties with their dad. When Webb gets involved, it makes the case more interesting because he used to be close to Jolie and is now working for Pitt. His claims make people wonder how much control Jolie really has over their kids and whether her actions may have affected their desire to spend time with. Brad Pitt's $300 million fortune has made things even more complicated and is now another point of contention in their legal battle. The stakes keep going up as the couple's split drags on, with both sides fighting for control over the futures of their children and their money. With these new accusations and the huge amounts of money at stake, things have gotten even worse between the former Hollywood power couple. Their court case is now one of the most closely watched in recent memory. Personal evolution court papers that Angelina Jolie filed have made up some very disturbing claims about Brad Pitt. On a flight in 2016, Jolie said Pitt grabbed her by the head, shook her violently, and even choked one of their children. This was one of the most shocking claims. The public and the media have been shocked by these accusations, which have brought up troubling parts of their relationship in the past. Jolie also says Pitt poured beer on her, which is a troubling claim. Even more shocking, they poured wine and beer on their kids at the same time. These new details have made the legal and emotional fight between the two Hollywood stars even worse than it was before. Because of this, Brad Pitt has been thinking about his own growth and dealing with the complicated and sometimes contradicting parts of his personality. That being said, Pitt's role in this troubling court case makes it hard for people to picture him as a famous actor. Shiloh's uncertain gender journey, Shiloh, whose folks like to call her John, has always gone her own way. She didn't like wearing girly dresses and instead wore polo shirts, jackets, and tracksuits that were too big on her. Her dress choices made her stand out, and her parents, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, supported her right to be herself. Shiloh's choice to go by the name John when she was only 3 years old, because she was inspired by Peter Pan, caused a lot of discussion about gender identity. Angelina told everyone that Shiloh's style was affected by the suits and tracksuits that are popular in Montenegro. Cutting her hair short was another brave thing she did that went against gender norms. Angelina fully accepted Shiloh's uniqueness, even though the media and public were all over them, standing her ground when people criticized the way she raises her children. Brad and Angelina have always been adamant that kids should be able to grow up being themselves, without any outside influences. They don't want to force their kids into certain roles, instead, they want to teach them to be strong, kind, and open-minded. Even though the media is always looking at Brad, he has stressed how important it is to be a rock for his kids. Angelina has said many times that she wants to let her kids choose their own paths without her dictating them. However, the Jolie Pitt family's choices have been criticized. People in tabloids and online have said that they are using Shiloh to get attention or to take their minds off of problems in their own relationships. Angelina has talked freely about how hard it is to raise her kids, especially Shiloh, which is something that many parents can relate to. Angelina recently said in an interview that she was afraid of putting Shiloh last in favor of her other 3 kids, Maddox, Zahara, and Pax. She admitted that she is extra careful to make sure Shiloh's needs aren't forgotten because she thinks her other kids are weak. This openness shows how her family works, and Angelina's self-reflection shows how committed she is to being a thoughtful and caring mom. Public opinion is still split, despite Angelina's best attempts. Some people say that she forced Shiloh to make big changes, mostly in her clothes. There were rumors that Shiloh might have had surgery to change her gender or been treated with hormones when she was 13. Brad and Angelina have decided to be quiet because they want Shiloh's privacy and well-being most. People have both good and bad things to say about Angelina's parenting style. Some people don't agree with her choice to let her girls dress like boys, while others praise her for encouraging diversity and self-expression. Angelina once said, "The most important thing for a girl is." This quote sums up her mindset. Some people say she's making her kids confused about gender, but Angelina doesn't mind if they show who they are. She's not making her children look like her. Instead, she values how different each child is. Angelina thinks that being different is a strength. She didn't think it was strange that Shiloh wanted to dress like her brothers. She did it because it was how she was. Brad and Angelina were shocked at first, but they quickly understood that Shiloh was more than just her name or gender. They have let all of their kids be themselves and not care what other people think. Shiloh's outfit stood out more than Zahara and Vivian's when they joined them on the red carpet. Even Vivian, who played Aurora when she was 5 years old in Maleficent, felt more at ease in overalls than dresses. "How could you make me a princess?" was a popular question she asked. Angelina cares about more than just her kids' clothes when it comes to how they show who they really are. In a 2019 essay for LA, she talked about how important it was to care for their minds over their bodies and encourage them to follow their hobbies instead of following what everyone else does. Shiloh takes Pitt out of her name. The world was shocked when Shiloh Jolie Pitt dropped her dad's last name. She changed her name on May 30th, just 3 days after turning 18. This was a sign of her newfound freedom. Insiders say this brave move has something to do with the custody fight her parents are still having. Reports say Shiloh Jolie Pitt wasn't allowed to testify about the events that led to Brad and Angelina's breakup. She now blames her father for this choice. A story from The Blast said that Shiloh asked a court in Los Angeles to change her name from Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie Pitt to Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie. Shiloh made it clear she was ready to take charge of her life by getting her own lawyer and filing the papers so soon after her birthday. At first, it wasn't clear why she changed her name, but now sources say it has to do with the custody battle and Shiloh's opinion that her rights were violated. She thought that as a victim, she had the right to speak out, but she was shut down. The Daily Mail was told by a source that Shiloh changed her name because she thought her voice wasn't heard when her parents were in court. On a private jet while on a family trip, one of the main events that led to Brad and Angelina's breakup happened. According to a highly redacted FBI report, Pitt allegedly screamed at and hit Angelina Jolie during a heated argument, which caused all 6 of their children, then kids to cry. Pitt was said to have scratches on his body, while Jolie was said to have hurt her back and arm. In the end, no criminal charges were brought because of things that were not made public. Shiloh's choice to drop Brad's name broke Brad's heart. It was more than just a name change for him. A person told US Weekly that it showed a bigger split that had been getting worse for years. According to another insider, Brad's relationship with his kids is strained because of things that happened in the past, but he is still hoping that they can get back together despite their differences. Even though he's not giving up on them, it hurts so much to see them move on, which is shown by dropping his name. Even though things are going badly, Brad is putting on a brave face in public. But behind closed doors, he's struggling with being apart from his kids. His children have mostly joined their mother. Several of them have openly distanced themselves from his last name. In May, his younger daughter Vivian took Pitt out of her name when she became an actress in the Broadway show The Outsiders. During a Spelman College sorority initiation ceremony in November 2023, Shiloh's bigger sister Zahara said her name was Zahara Marley Jolie. A person who knows Brad's kids well said that they've had a hard time forgiving him and getting back together with him since the split. Their mom has been the rock of the family, raising them with love and kindness. It was hard for them to see Brad fight with their mom after he left. Shiloh Jolie Pitt's early life was full of privilege, fame, and the strong impact of her parents' work in charity and their own careers. Shiloh has been in the public eye since she was born in Namibia and grew up with brothers and parents who worked in Hollywood and for good causes. She has been breaking gender norms and becoming a young icon in her own right. Shiloh Jolie Pitt is likely to find her own way as she grows up, drawing from the many experiences and ideals her parents have taught her. Not only does Shiloh's story show how a famous family works, but it also shows how identity, family, and the search for personal fulfillment work in a world where everything is watched and recorded. Do you think that Shiloh has been hurt by the changes in her family that came about when her parents got divorced? Please tell us in the area below. Click the like button if you liked the movie. If this is your first time on this site, don't forget to click the sign up button. To be informed when we post new content, turn on the bell.